Hello. I guess we're starting now. I'm Farinelli, and we're going to discuss a project that you're going to be working on over 2 sessions. So let me remind you that a session during the regular fall and spring semesters equals 1 week. But for those of you that take this course during the summer, a session is 1 day. So it's designed to be a minimum of 3 hours of work. So 2 sessions will be given to you to do all of the tasks that you're going to do, both the formative and the summative tasks that you will do for this particular project. Let's talk first of all about the overall goal for this project. Your overall goal for this is that you are going to get practice in developing a chart and a narrative of a program that you would present to, say, a school board, or maybe for grant funding, to a grant funding board. So I want you to learn to be able to take a program and describe it in chart form and in narrative. And so that would be a written narrative, or for those of you that are more verbal, you could do this as an audio download or a video. Any of those would be acceptable. So let's talk about how you will do this. For the first session, I want you to spend a minimum of 3 hours developing at least 2 of the 10-point postings. You'll remember that the 10-point postings require, number 1, that you present one of your favorite ideas and describe it and tell its source. So that could be from the textbook, it could be from a meeting with me, it could be from a work that you're doing in your school, it could be an online source, it could be a journal article, something from the library, any source that you're using to develop a program idea. So the program that you're going to describe for me will be your graduate program. It's the one thing that I know all of you have in common. You're either working on a master's program or certificate program as graduate students. So some of you in this class are working on a master's in school administration, some are doing a school administration certification, some are working on a master's in teaching, and other areas. So I simply want you to chart out your program using the simplest type of chart, a Gantt chart. So you can go look that up online. There's also some information in my folder, in the Farinelli folder on the iDrive, about Gantt charts. And a Gantt chart basically looks like this. It has all the tasks are listed on the vertical axis of a XY axis, and then the time is usually on the y-axis. Now this one happens to have it at the top, and I'll tell you why later. But you can put it at the bottom or at the top, telling the time that each of these things occur, and the X points out which task is occurring at that time. So that's a Gantt chart. So go online and or go to the library and look up Gantt charts, or come to one of our optional live sessions that we'll be having, where we'll actually get a group together and develop a Gantt chart. What your Gantt chart will do is it will describe all the tasks that you need to do to complete your graduate program, your certification program, or your master's program. And then it will put that over time. Now you could even color code it to show those tasks that have already been completed, those that you're doing now, and those that still need to be done. If you wanted to do that, that would make it even clearer to someone looking at your chart. And then once you've completed that all the way up to graduation or to certification completion, then you will narrate it. And so you could do that by writing a short essay telling about all the steps, or once again you could do an audio recording or a video recording where you would narrate your chart. The first session you will need to do at least 2 10-point postings. For example, many students choose to do one posting on the research that they do on how to do a Gantt chart. So you could actually use this video that you're watching as your source for that idea. The other one that you would do would be then looking up something about your program. So you might want to go to the graduate catalog or any information that is given. For example, for the school administration majors, there is a very handy little trifold that you can get that has lots of information on the program. And so this could be a source of your ideas on your program. And, oh, sorry, this one is for the Masters of Education in School Administration. It's not the certification plan, so I'm not sure which I said a while ago. But it would give you a nice source to look at all the courses that are required, some information about the program. I think each of the programs, each of the graduate programs have that kind of information. Certainly the graduate catalog would have additional information. For school administration example, there is a school administrator's handbook, separate handbook for those working on a master's than the handbook for those who are simply doing certification beyond masters that they might already have. So you would need to think of the sources that you could find on your particular graduate program, and then use that source or sources for at least one other posting. You could do more than just 2 postings, but 1 posting on how to do a Gantt chart, and at least 1 other posting on information about your program that you would use for your narrative and your chart. So, first session, that would be at the end of the first week in a fall or spring semester, or at the end of the first day of this project in the summer. On that first day, you're going to do your postings about the Gantt chart process and the information for your chart and narrative about your program. So you're going to have at least 2 postings that first session. Then the second one, you're going to develop your chart of your program. Now, if there's several of you that are working in a cohort, for example, where you're taking the very same courses at the very same time, then one of the things you might want to do is to practice doing this as a small group project. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see this one or not, but one of my small group cohorts got together and they got Post-its and they argued about what steps occurred first and all the steps that they should do. They were using their graduate catalog and their school administrator's handbook. And so you see, they knew the first thing they did the semester before they began. There were 2 steps they did. They both filed for admission into the graduate program, and they were accepted into the program. And some of them met with the advisor that semester before their classes began. Some of them met with the advisor during their first semester of classes here. All the way, they went all the way down this, all the way over until graduation. So, by using Post-its on a poster board, the nice thing about that is that you can change them around as you discuss it, or as if you're doing it as a solo project, as you think about it and want to add things, you can move those Post-its around. If you're doing it on a spreadsheet, or say like Excel's that I did this one on, this one's just a demonstration. Notice it's for Jane Doe. If you did it on a spreadsheet like this, there would be some things that would occur throughout your program, like working on your portfolio and your time logs. There would be other things that would occur on specific semesters. For example, taking a couple of courses and meeting with your advisor to file for candidacy. Those 3 things occurred within a semester. So notice it lists courses that you take, forms that you have to turn in, meetings that are required, everything from applying to get into the graduate program all the way down to graduation here at the end. So I hope that will give you some ideas on how to do this. You're going to divide this up into 2 sessions. The first session, you're going to make at least 2 postings, 2 or more postings, about how to make a simple Gantt chart and information about your program, where you would gather that information. And then on the second session, you are going to then do the big project, which is develop that into a Gantt chart and an accompanying narrative of that chart. I hope this helps you understand this process a little better. Other sources that you might use to help you see how to do this would be to look at old projects that have been done. Those are listed in discussion board down in the old project section. You might go in and look at discussions that have been posted for this semester by students who do come to the optional sessions where we discuss it. You would look in your syllabus and in the rubric to get information about this module as well. And I'm using the term module here to describe the 10-point postings that you do in the first session of this module, and then the Gantt chart and the narrative that you do on the second. So if you have any other questions, you know my office hours, you can call me, or if you want to come by individually or in small groups to meet with me, you can call the EFL office and set that up. I can meet with you. Usually we can set those up within a day or two. Or come to one of the optional live sessions that we've already scheduled. Okay? Good luck on this. I hope you do a great job. Bye-bye.